Hey guys, so hopefully everything is loading up and all that good stuff. Let's see, because you know how technology does me. Let me make sure I'm on here. As you guys come on, say hey. Let me know that you're there. Let me know you can hear me, you can see me. I'm going to invite a couple of people. And also, at the same time, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tessa Colvin, publishing coaching consultant. For those who are ready to share their stories, experiences, messages, methods with others to show them a better way. And for those who I serve, I take the stress out of book writing. So, like I said, let me know you're there. Hey, Andrea. Let's see. Um, Inviting the whole wide world. Also, as we are diving into part two of the It's Possible series. If you know people who have been struggling for days, weeks, months, years, that one hurt, years to get their book done. You know people like that. I know people like that. Who have just really been struggling to get their book done. They've been working on it. Every time you ask them, they're still working on it. It's not ready. They are doing this, that, and the other. They may even have book covers and titles, but still no book. If you know people like that, tag them, share this with them so that they can get out of their own way. And so today, what we are diving into as I wrap up this whole technology side of this live. Okay. As we dive in today, hey Malika, how are you? Hey Kat, are you stateside? Are you jet setting across the water? Where are you? Hey Chandra. Okay, so here we go. It's possible. It's very important that you understand this myth. I'm going to say it one time. It hurts to say, I got to get myself ready. Okay. If it ain't perfect, it won't sell. That ain't a truth. That's absolutely not true, right? That is not true. And so we want to dive into that today, and we want to dive into we want to dive into the myth that is. No, no birds attacking me today, but I'm kind of scared to say that loud out loud. What if they, you know what, you've been teasing me all day. So for those of you who didn't catch yesterday, I was just about to go live and a bird just like attacked my window. And then this morning I had an issue taking our puppy out to tour the estate. It was potty time. And I'm like, look, you need to come away from up underneath the deck, because if something snatch you, you just under there. I'm not about to do that. So yeah, no birds, no Pennywise. We don't want none of that. Right? I can't help it. It happened. So here's the thing. Going back to the It's Possible series and why we're doing this, we're killing the myths that are holding your books hostage. And like I said, we know people like this. We have been people like this, where for years, well, I say 20 years, I've known people or I've come across people who said they've been writing their book for 20 years. And I'm like, you know how much more life has happened, has occurred, you've overcome in those 20 years? Like, what's happening? Like, what are you doing that you're still writing your book and it's been 20 years? What is occurring? Because if you're trying to encompass your entire life in your book, when are you living your life? But that's a whole nother life. That's a whole nother other life. But today we really want to talk about the if it ain't perfect, it won't sell. And I titled it that way on purpose. So my editors, that's connected. I know you're probably like, oh, why would you do that? There should have been a comma. This should have happened. Yeah, we know all of that, but you still showed up. The title wasn't perfect and you still showed up, right? So here's the thing. If you are in this state of being where you feel like if it ain't perfect, it won't sell, you are officially being bullied by perfectionism. I'm going to say that again. If you're in the state of being and thinking where you feel like if it's not perfect, it won't sell, you are officially being bullied by perfectionism. And let's talk about that a little bit. Perfectionism, the Perfect is a myth all its own. Perfection is a myth all its own. What's perfect for me, Chandra might see it and be like, oh, that is not on point. That's not working. So it's subjective. It's subjective. It don't exist. If it's subjective, then it's not a thing. We're gonna call it a myth. So you have let one myth bully you into believing another myth, and that's why your book isn't done. How crazy does that sound? You've let one myth bully you into believing another myth, and now your book isn't done. It's been 20 years, it's been 12 years, it's been 9 years. Goodness gracious, those that just every time I say that, it's like, oh, but it's real for somebody. It's real for someone. It's real for some of you on here. You got a book inside you. You breathe it, you eat it, you pour it out every day. It's why you went into business. It's why you chose the career that you chose. It's why you are the go-to person in your ministry. It's why you're the go-to person in your family. It's why you're the go-to person in your friend circle and your masterminds, wherever you show up and people flock to you and they're like, okay, I got to hear what Kat is about to say because it's going to be the truth. You know that book is inside of you, but what? Because it's not going to pour out perfect, it's still being held hostage. We've all been there, right? So the thing about it is, your journey wasn't perfect. Your journey wasn't perfect. It perfected your message. So why do you expect it to pour out perfectly? That doesn't make sense, right? These are the little pieces of perfectionism that trip you up, get you stuck, make you feel like your survivor story, your story of survival isn't good enough. That just doesn't make sense. And I know it feels real, but it's not. It's absolutely a myth. And I know it feels real. Ask me how I know. Been there, done that, didn't even get a cute t-shirt or anything. It feels real. It feels like if I don't have subject verb agreement and proper noun and pronoun use, that my book isn't going to sell. That's not true. Spoiler alert, books don't sell. Books don't sell. Powerful solutions sell. Surprise, the cat is out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. Powerful solutions sell. Period. I have a whole bookshelf over here full of books. Some of the most renowned names in entertainment, whatever, over there on my bookshelf. And I can find some typos. I can find some misspellings. It's some books over there, some fiction books that the character was named this in chapter 1, and then chapters 2 through 40, it was something else. It happens. Guess who still bought the book? This girl right here. Still bought the book. Hey, Toy. Hey, Lamora. How are you? Still bought the book. Because whether it was fiction or nonfiction, whatever my need was at that moment, I wanted that book. And I knew it would meet my need. So if I wanted to be entertained, I went and bought a book that entertained me. If I wanted to know how to, 20 master plots for your fiction story, I went and bought the book, right? Typos, not perfect covers, all of that, right? Right, okay, so I gotta say that out loud. Like Erykah Badu, I'm sensitive about my ish. How do we get over it? I love you. I love when you show up on these lives because you give me life. That's a good question. That's a real question. How do you get over it? Perfectionism is about you. It's about, and go with me, give me a few minutes. Perfectionism is about what you perceive other people are going to perceive about you, right? Perfectionism is about what you perceive other people are going to perceive about you. So it's like, It's a whole. Do you see that? I'm going to say it one more time. Perfectionism is about what you perceive other people are going to perceive about you. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of energy. You're trying to pre-read the minds of people who are reading your book. That's a lot of energy. You could have been writing with that energy. you could have written a whole series with that energy right there. How many times have you applied that logic in other places? One of my mentors says all the time, how you do one thing is how you do many things. So how many times, for my business owners on here, have you scrutinized and done this whole perfection perception circle that I just outlined with something you were creating as a solution for your people, for your audience? How many times as a speaker have you done this with your talks? How many times as a parent have you done this with your parenting? Like, that's a lot of energy. You are burning gas and going nowhere. You're burning gas and going nowhere. And so, how do you get over it? Get over yourself. Get over yourself. I know when I was younger, it used to make me so mad for my grandmother to be like, it's not about you. And I'm like, what do you mean? It is about me because I'm having this moment, but it's a moment you orchestrated. You haven't even put the book out. You have not even written one word. And in your mind, it's not only not a bestseller, but people are laughing at you. Where? This is all happening inside here. You don't have word one on paper, much less book one on the shelf. You are stressing for nothing, right? That's how you get over it. Make it not about you. Let's think about that. I'm glad you asked that question. Make it not about you. So the book that's locked inside you is exactly the solution that someone is praying for right now. And they're not praying, please let it have perfect grammar. Please let it be filled with the perfect instances of subject verb agreement. Please let it have proper pronouns and nouns. Please let it be a perfect epilogue. They're not praying for that. They are praying for help. They're praying for hope. They're praying for some resources. They're praying for some tools. They're not praying for an English class. That's not what they're praying for. That's how you get over it. You get over yourself and think about the people who need your message, your methods, your experience, your skill set. All you're trying to do is give people a roadmap around the potholes that you've already fallen into. That's how you get over it. Toy, you said we can always find some reason that something is not perfect. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Have you ever stepped out of the house feeling like, okay, it's flawless, got it together, and then you get somewhere in a different light than what's in your house, and you be like, oh, these two different purples. Oh, these two different blah, blah, blahs. You still look flawless. Work it. Be you. Do you. Chandra, you said perfectionism will keep you in the dust of the go-getters that do the inner work and stop caring. Do the inner work and stop caring. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Please put that energy to better use. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Amy. So that's the thing. I want to go back to the last thing I said before I was explaining how to get out of your own way. Books don't sell. Don't look at books as you're not selling CDs out of the trunk of your car. You're not doing a Master P. It's bigger than that. It's not about the book, but the powerful solution that the book represents and entails. Hopefully it's enclosed in the words of your book. Hopefully. If it's not, we got a whole nother issue. We got a whole nother issue. We need to talk about that. You need to call me, right? Because transformation can happen from page 1 to page 100. You can change someone's life in the pages of your book. And I promise you, hey, Sherry, I promise you, they're not overlooking your life changing information because it's not a comma in the sentence. Will they have to read it a couple times? Maybe, but they probably needed that anyway so that it can sink in, so that it can get inside of them, so that they can embody whatever change they're trying to incite, right? That's the thing. All of these myths that we're breaking through, it's not even about the external, the outside world. It's about what's going on in here. Yesterday, we talked about, you're not a celebrity, nobody wants to read your book. That's a myth, that's a flat out lie that some people tell themselves. Well, I got to have this type of following in order for my book to be successful and for people to want to read it. No, not true. Not true at all. I have books from people that you probably never even heard of because they spoke to me and they were positioned meaning they wrote the book and made the book available for me to find it when I went looking for whatever solution they offered. Right? That's the whole thing. These myths all happening inside here. You're not driving past the billboard on your way to drop the kids off or on your way to work that says you're not a celebrity, don't write your book. You're not driving past the billboard that says if it ain't perfect, it won't sell, talking to you about your book. That's not happening. What is happening, though, is that you are ignoring the true signs and confirmations that are popping up for you to write your book. Like the lady who you brighten her day every time you come to work because she's like, "Ooh, you give me hope, you give me life. Thank you. I appreciate that pep talk you gave me when we were on break the other day." Right? Or your sister who is also your best friend who went through a divorce and you were able to talk her through it because you've been there, done that. She wasn't checking your grammar. She wasn't checking any of that. She was grateful that you were in a position, that you existed. Listen to the words I'm saying. She was grateful that you existed and you were in a position to pour out to her so that she can make it through because she didn't know how she was going to do it. That's what a book is. That's what a book is. When you pour it into those people, did they step back and say, "I don't really like your outfit, so I'm not going to pay attention to this life-changing information you just gave me"? No, they didn't. They took a mental note, and from there, they knew exactly what direction they needed to go in. Like, seriously, these holes, these pitfalls of perfectionism, that's what's holding your words hostage. But at the same time, it's preventing people's lives from being positively impacted by your story. Going back to what my Grammy said, it is really not about you. I know it sucks because you want it to be about you, but it's really not. You're the catalyst for somebody's life to change. You're the catalyst for somebody's business to shift. You're the catalyst for someone's confidence that is like dirt poor to be able to begin to skyrocket. You're the catalyst for someone who is in a relationship where she's been told she's fat every day to understand this is not okay. You're the catalyst for someone who was hurt in church to understand people hurt you, not God. You're the catalyst for these real conversations to happen so that people can get the breakthrough they need. And in each one of those situations, like I always say, somebody is Googling somewhere. They're calling 911. They're looking for your book and it ain't there. So what's happening? They're calling 911 and nobody's answering. I would hate to be in that situation. Whatever that book is that's trapped inside of you, and like you didn't just come across this and say, I think I wonder if you do. You do. You know it every single day you wake up and your book isn't done. And you know that these are excuses that you've said to yourself. You've said to yourself, don't nobody know who I am? They don't want to read my book. You've said to yourself, I'm not a good writer. I can't write a book. That's not true. That's not true. All you got to do is bring your genius. There's resources, there's support. There's people that, like myself, this is what they do for a living. They help you pull out your genius and pour it out onto paper. Every day. Every day. Hey, Joanna. It happens every day. The thing is, I want to go back to the question that was asked. How do you get out of your own way? You make the decision that it's not about me. I didn't go through this by some happenstance. I didn't go through whatever I've gone through, whatever I have experienced. I didn't go through the hardships, the struggles. Like, I know for a fact, me as an individual, I didn't go through being a single parent just for fun, because it wasn't. I didn't go through that just for me. I'm able to have conversations with my daughters. I'm able to have conversations with other single mothers. I'm able to have conversations with entrepreneurs who are single parents. I'm able to have conversations with them about real life stuff, not fluffy stuff, real life stuff. And guess what's not happening? They're not telling me, your journey wasn't perfect. I don't think that I should listen to you. Usually they're like, oh, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only somebody that ever happened to. I thought I was the only somebody who ever felt that way, thought that thing, felt hopeless like that. I thought I was the only one who was triggered by that. Like, come on, real life conversations. Yes, ma'am. Malike, girl, you know what? I would throw my keys at the screen, but she said, so if I don't put out my story, I'm holding up traffic. Right? Uh-huh. Yeah, you are. You're holding up the people who are trying to come up behind you. You are a roadmap. You're clearing the way, saying, hey, this way. If you step over there, you're going to fall off a cliff. Don't step over that way. Ask me how I know I fell. Come this way. It's a straight line. Come this way. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. I wrote an article. Oh, I think it's been about 1.5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago. And I was talking about superheroes and when you're sent to save someone's life, you know, if your superpower being your experiences, and you go to save someone who's fallen off a building, do you think they're going to be like, you couldn't stop and put on some lipstick before you came to save my life? No. So all of the, especially this one about if it's not perfect, it won't sell. That's exactly what that is. If you have ever had to call the paramedics or anything like that, like the reality is if you have and they showed up, maybe they didn't iron their shirt that day, you didn't care anything about that. You was like, hey, this is your area of expertise. I have this problem. Come see about me. So I'm going to let you know that's exactly what your people are saying. They're like, look, I don't care if it's a run-on sentence. I don't care. I have this problem. I need you to come see about me because I'm drowning, because I'm dying, because my business is dying, because my relationships are dying, because my relationship with my children dying, because I'm spiritually dying, because I'm mentally dying, because I'm emotionally dying. I need you to come see about me. See, even Bella felt that one. They are waiting on you to come see about them. Like, that's real. So stop trying to sell books that you haven't written. You haven't even written the book yet, and you're worried about if it's going to sell because it's not perfect. You haven't even written it yet. Write your book, right? And remember, it's not about book selling. Books don't sell, period. That's what I said. I stand behind it. Books don't sell. Powerful solutions sell. What makes a powerful solution? You know what you're talking about. You've been there, done that, right? You're talking about what you know about, right? You're not trying to write a book about something you heard, right? You're writing a book about what you've experienced, about what you've overcome, about what you've survived, about what you've endured, about what you've learned. Several of the people that I'm connected to are business owners. We all know you don't step out of corporate and hit the laptop life. I don't care what the Facebook ad said. I don't care what the last PDF you got said. Talk about that. You'll save someone's business. You'll help someone really skyrocket their income. You'll help someone properly transition from corporate to being an entrepreneur. You'll change somebody's life because you know about it. So that myth, we're going to do away with that today. It's done. It's over. It don't exist anymore. We're not going to talk about that anymore, right? Right, Sherry? Like, that's real life. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. I can speak on that because I've been there, done that. Right? That's another live, though. You and I should do that live together. But that's the thing. Stop getting bullied by perfection into believing that if your book isn't perfect, it won't sell. That's a roadblock you can't afford. That's a roadblock that's costing people their lives. Period. It's a roadblock that's costing people their lives. It's even costing you your life because every day you feel that twisting in your gut to get your book done and it ain't happening. It ain't healthy for you. And yes, I'm using ain't a lot. I know. It ain't healthy for you. It ain't healthy for the people who are waiting on you. Right. Yes, I can read that. So that's the thing. And whatever imperfections or whatever you deem to be an imperfection, I guarantee you that's the thing that'll connect you with your audience. That's the thing. Like how many times have I said ain't? Can I say other things isn't, aren't? I can, but we're talking. You understand exactly where I'm coming from. You understand exactly how serious it is. It didn't take away from what I'm pouring out to you at all, right? Stop getting bullied by perfection. Absolutely. You don't have time for that. So when it comes to you writing your book, get the book out. Get the book out before you decide it won't sell. You don't even have anything to sell today. You don't even have anything to worry about if it's going to sell. Step one is getting the book written. Get the book written. And I know what's happening. You sit down, you see that flashing cursor, and you tense up because you want it to pour out like a song lyric. You want it to pour out and be solid gold. You've got to trust that it will. You've got to trust that it will. Whatever you've done before, whatever you have attempted before, try something different. If you have decided that, okay, I'm going to write on my commute every day to work, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that at lunch, and it didn't work, I challenge you to try something different. I said it yesterday and I'm going to say it again today. You can't make time to write your book. You've got to take time. And if you say, I'm going to make time to write my book, what you say to your brain is, oh, we're not really doing this, because your brain is a computer and it understands that you can't make time to write your book. What you're going to have to do is set aside time to write your book. Always keeping in mind, make sure you keep this in mind, it's not about you. It's about the lives that are depending on you to show them a better way, right? We already established that. That's what's perfect. Your message is perfect because your journey perfected it. I know y'all heard me say that before, right? Oh, wait a minute. Chandra, you said you got to tell me a story about a call you got. Okay. I want to know. I'll talk to you later. But here's the thing, going back to what I said, the very first thing you got to do is write your book. That whole just rabbit hole of perfection has you all thrown off. You worried about sales and you haven't written word one. You worried about not having a big following and you haven't even written for the people that you know need your book. It's 5 people you can touch right now that need your book, and you know it. So get your book written. And if you're struggling with that, I can support you. I don't know about anybody else. No shade. I'm talking about me. This is what I do. And this is how I know that you're feeling these things. You can't make time You have to take time or set time. And that's how I can help you. I said it yesterday. I can't believe we're almost to the end of October. We're almost to the end of October 2018. When you came into January 2018, you said, boom, this is the year I'm going to write my book. It's been 2018 for a long time. It's been 2018 for 10 whole months. And you have not written your book. What's the problem? You're trying to do it in and of yourself, and you're trying to make it about yourself. You need some support. I challenge you. You've done almost 10 whole months of trying to do it yourself. I challenge you to give me a little bit of your time. Let's talk about your vision for your book, who your book is for, and get your book written. And let's do it in a space that is specifically designed to make sure you're successful at writing your book. No more sitting there watching the cursor, flashing at you, taunting you, telling you you can't write a perfect book. No such thing, right? The perfect book is exactly how it comes out of you. It's exactly the messages, whether they're super sweet with sugar on it, or whether your message is straight to the point, like, girl, listen, don't do this. It will kill your life. It will kill your sales. However it looks, that's what makes it perfect. Let's get in an environment, in a space dedicated to your book. Have you tried that? And I'm not talking about just, oh, I'm going to write at my coffee table. I'm going to write at my kitchen. I mean, have you dedicated a getaway to getting your book done? I bet you haven't. I bet you haven't. That is a game changer. That's why I created the Writing and Wine Retreat the way that I did. It plucks you out of your every single day. It plucks you out of having to take care of the kids for 4 days. It plucks you out of having to cook dinner for 4 days. It plucks you out of having to balance business and book and school, if you like me, for 4 days, so that you can dedicate that time to writing a book that says something. Like, that's powerful. You want to write a book that says something, not just one of those books that says, oh, it's a coffee table book and I wrote a book and it's about me. You're going to write a book that says something, because that's my specialty. I'm not going to let you do anything less. The people who are depending on you and your story, they don't deserve anything less than your absolute best. And so that's what we focus on at the retreat. That's why it's set up that way. That's why it's set up that way. So I am stressing to you that a couple of things. Perfectionism is a myth, but it is absolutely possible for you to get your book done. And it's possible for you to get your book done in a stress-free way. That involves wine. You know, I had to throw that in there. It's possible. I have people on here who have worked with me before. Same thing with when we did the series opener yesterday. These are not fiction stories. These people exist. People that came to me and said, I can't write a book. I'm not a good writer. I'm a better speaker. I don't know what to write. That's one I get all the time. And of course, I don't have time to write. I don't have time to write. So now we create this retreat focused on tackling all of that. You'll know what to write. You'll know exactly when you're going to be writing because we pull you out of your everyday life, and you're going to do it stress-free. You're going to know exactly who you're talking to. You're going to know exactly what parts of your story to tell, because we're going to really dig into your journey and your experience and make it about the reader. That's how conversations work. Yes, you know what you want to say, but you also have that engagement of the other person asking you questions, asking you to tell them more. That's how we approach book writing, and that's how we do it at the retreat. So I want to invite you to the Writing and Wine Retreat. It's coming up. It's April 2019. Plenty of time, but not really, because if you wait, you're going to miss out on the early bird pricing. Early bird rate right now today is $800. $800 for you to meet me at Chateau Elan, spend 4 days with me, a lot of writing. I was going to say little writing, a lot of wine, but that's not right. A lot of writing, little bit of wine, stress-free environment, me in the room, right there with you, helping you, supporting you, not letting the blinking cursor taunt you to get your book done over the 4-day period. You've tried to do this for 10 months, we'll say for 2018. Might have been 20 years, might have been 12 years, but we'll say 10 months in 2018, you've already tried to do it yourself and it didn't work. Give me 4 days. Give me 4 days and let's get your book done. And you get some benefits. When you sign up today at the $800 early bird rate, you get $700 off because the full price goes into effect January 1st. You also get a couple of bonuses. You get access to my complete training package about publishing and getting your book done. You also get the writing acceleration group to help kick off your writing early so that you can already start even before we get to the retreat. You also get, don't tell nobody, but you also get a bonus photo shoot, a professional photo shoot at the retreat. So you get to get your book done, you get to get your glam on, and you get to have a little bit of wine. I keep saying a little bit, but we'll see. And you get to do all of this at the retreat. Perfect environment to get your book done. Do not wait. After October 31st, the early bird rate of $800 is gone. Don't wait. Do not wait. Like I said, you have taken 10 months in 2018. Give me 4 days. Let me support you for 4 days to get your book done. Because why? We already know how I feel about it. This is real life. Lives depend on you getting your book done. So let's eliminate all the excuses and get your book done, right? That is what I really would love for you to do. Eliminate all of the excuses. I know, a little bit of wine. a little bit of wine. Eliminate all of the excuses and let's get your book done, right? So I've had you guys on here forever and a day. I could talk to y'all all day long. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to drop the link right here so you can grab your spot, take a look at the bonuses and all of that good stuff. Let me know if you have questions. If this is for you, which if you're seeing it, you know how I feel. I'm a girl. I'm all about confirmation. If you're seeing this, this is for you. Come hang out with us. Come get your book done. And let's save lives. Let's expand our impact. And let's do it all with ease because this is what we were designed to do in the first place. This is why we went through those things in the first place. And if you have any questions, PM me. I am an open book. No pun intended, but just a little bit. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And I will see you tomorrow for part 3 of the Is Possible series.